There we go. Make sure I get comments on. There we go. Let me go on my phone real quick and do it. Hopefully this doesn't copy link. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. The Grand Sprint of Third Party Kingdom. Live. No. All right. All right, we're good to go. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's do this. We got Christopher Horton here of Transformers Third Party Kingdom. The one, the only, the myth, the legend. What's going on, Chris? Thank you for joining the Iacon Files. This is an honor. Chris is a humongous role model for me. He has touched my life, touched my family's life, many others in the kingdom since I've been a part of this group. You know, he needs no introduction, man. He does what his heart calls him to do, and it's a blessing to see that in action. So it is a great honor for me to welcome my friend, my brother, my family, Christopher Horton, onto the Iacon Files.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Man, I got to say that it is not only an honor, but I would say it's absolutely a privilege for anyone to see you as such and value you as such high esteem. But hey, man, I'm grateful. I appreciate you, man. Thank you for all that you do in the group and for all that you have been to the group, from your introductory all the way up to today, your whole tenure of being there. So, man, I'm grateful for you, brother. Very grateful.
Heck yeah. You know, I've gone through so much collecting and meeting so many people. You know, you've been doing the backbone and bringing all these people in, and it's just been awesome to meet new friends on a daily, you know, and it's just like every day I look forward to going into the kingdom, every day going live. And that's a new thing that's been pretty awesome, is that a lot of people in the kingdom now are being active on live podcasting and shows. You know, there's a few of us doing it now. Like I came in later, but it's because of what you doing, Jimmy G, all these guys doing their thing that inspired me to like, let me give this a try. You know what I'm saying? And for me, it's fun, dude. You know, I love doing it. You know, we got Evans here. Good evening, gents. What's up, Evans?
Denby. What's up, Denby?
Welcome to the Iacon.
Hey, all the way from Canada. What's up, Denby?
Yeah. This is going to be fun, man. You can join in, Evans, too, if you want, like in the comments. You know, this is going to be a lot of fun. My first time trying to do this, but I tried putting a lot of things together that I think will be interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how Chris goes about on each of these things here.
Uh-oh.
So, bada bing.
All right.
Let me see here. I always like giving shout outs here before I start. Angela Gibson of the Crafty as a Mug Dashery.com. Angela is a blessing. I've always said it. She has blessed the Iacon Files with t-shirts, merchandise, and she's as well hooked up Christopher with his own stuff for Transformers Third Party Kingdom as well.
Right.
And you know, check it out, man. Go there. You'll see the shirts for everybody. And actually, right now, she's got a sale going on. The t-shirts are like $16 right now, and I think
$16 t-shirt.
Right, the regular price I think was like $25. I think it was.
Yeah.
You know, not including shipping. So now is the time, dude, to get one. You know, for almost the price of one, you can get like two. So there's a lot of cool stuff to get there. So definitely check her out. Thank you, Angela, for everything that you do. Shout out to Eman's World of Geek, man. I love checking this guy out. His vibe is awesome. I've seen him on Jimmy G a lot, and he's jumped on the Iacon Files every now and then. And I don't, like I told everybody, I don't get paid to give shout outs. They probably don't even know I'm giving shout outs, but I'm just doing it because, you know what, I like their channels. And if I like it, I'm hoping you guys will too. So shout out to Eman there. Of course, Jimmy G, the good, the bad, the awesome, all things pop culture. Awesome. I love Jimmy, dude. James, man, what a blessing it is to have him in the group. Let's see here. We got a comment. Not bad. I just got most of my gifts ready for Christmas, even Evan says, and some snow shoveling as we do it. Man, you got snow already. Man, heck no. I don't want no snow over here. Let's see. Jonathan Schofield, 3DS printing and collectible.
Shout out, Jonathan.
Dude, that's oh my God, dude. I said it so many times. He's like my Scotty. He's helped me so many times, like especially my Fortress Max. Like he actually customized the cannons on my Fortress Max when nobody had it. He just sat down and did it. So that's a pretty my Fort Max is crazy.
I got a good amount of work from Schofield myself. Yeah. This even.
Oh, what is that, dude? Oh my God, dude. Is that Prime's gun?
This is Prime's gun.
Oh my God.
It was a secret. Hey, look, it was a Secret Santa gift from Andrew Lexington, made by Jonathan D. Schofield.
Wow, dude, that is crazy. Oh my God, dude, is it heavy?
It's got a nice look. It's not super heavy, but it's got some good weight to it. This, when I tell you immaculate, that is immaculate.
Man,
I want to get on the floor and roll around and pew pew bang bang with it.
Oh my, yeah, you know what? I actually saw that at the convention. Somebody on YouTube was going around, and I saw somebody like have it on one of the YouTube videos. I was like, oh damn, dude, that's crazy. That is bugged out. Let's see. Moose from Whamstand, dude. Dude, what an awesome Moose. If you're out there, thank you. It was a privilege meeting you. I met him through connections with E-Man. He told me, because E-Man actually had these magnetic things that I was showing you, like to display stuff, and he's like, yeah, it's the Wham stand. So he actually put me in the right direction, and I was able to talk to Moose, and really nice guy. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all we got there for shout outs. And obviously shout out to anybody watching. And if you don't know, Transformers Third Party Kingdom, of course, is the heart of everything that you see going on lately on Transformers YouTube lives, everything. It's inspired by Transformers Third Party Kingdom, at least mine. I am, and that's all because of the hard work Christopher, Carrie have done, propelling this vision into where it is today. And I tell you, it's a great honor just to be a part of that, for sure. So,
thank you, man.
You want to say anything, Chris, before we get into this? Anything you want to say?
Yes, I want to say, man, shout out to everyone that is a part of the T3PK, the Transformers Third Party Kingdom, because I know you guys want to contribute a lot of homage to me, but I got to put that back on you guys' shoulders as well, because I am not only honored to have you guys there, but the kingdom is nothing without you guys working together in unison to help me keep this thing rolling and being what it is. So I'm very grateful for every member, all my admins that does such an immaculate job with keeping the peace. Which, I mean, you guys are so awesome to where you actually make the admin's job easy. Everybody just comes in there as like-minded. They feel the love, they feel the vibe that we're trying to put. And man, I can't ask for anything more or greater than that.
Yeah, dude, definitely. Today I was actually, my Secret Santa was actually Lawrence Tate, and he got his second gift today, which was the Fan Toys Blitzwing, and he gave a shout out to me on the Secret Santa group, and he was like, it's a blessing, the love I'm seeing, and that's why I wanted to share that, because everything that we're seeing is you're the root, whether you want to take that credit or not. You, Carrie, how you all started this, you all started with this when I got on when I first met you, and then like maybe a few days to a week, a couple of weeks later, you guys started this generosity of I'm sending you this, I'm sending you this, and people are like, oh my God, what this is? They're like, people are blown away because we just never saw that kind of activity from groups, you know.
Right.
And Transformers Third Party Kingdom was the one who was like doing it, you know. You like, boom, I got this, got this. People don't even know I got this in the mail. I don't even know who it's from, and it's from Chris. Like I didn't, you know. Yeah. So, but it's nice, especially for you, Chris. You know, and I'm kind of speaking for you, but you changed me. But to be able to sit down in your house or your collection room and to reflect at this kingdom and how everybody is like expressing that what you're doing. You know, there's a Bible verse that says, I think it's John 4:19, we love first because God loved us.
Right.
And that's how it is. You know, we're expressing that love. A lot of us are being generous and giving because we're seeing that from you. You're the one who started this, and it's nice. I love doing it. You know, I'm a person that loves to give, so I get a lot of satisfaction in doing that. You know, so definitely a shout out to you. And trust me, like words fall short when I say how important you are in my life and the life of my family. And I'm sure a lot of the people in the kingdom are going to say similar things to that. So definitely an honor. See, Evan says, I wish that I had been able to participate in the Secret Santa this year, but I'll definitely be shipping it next year. Definitely, Evans, man. It was awesome, man.
Yeah, it was awesome, man.
Cool.
Come on, join in. It's never too late.
Yeah. All right, guys, look, we're going to start this. And like, again, you can participate too. Just comment. And as we go along, I'm going to see what Chris does here. So this is like an elimination thing. You know, you'll probably get it as soon as I put the first thing up. You're going to understand what I mean. And this is like a process of elimination. You know, I didn't really have a name. I call it deleting the files. I don't know. We'll call it that for now. We'll call it that for now. But let's get this started. I'm really interested in see what Chris is going to say. And again, answer to the best of your ability, you know, because I don't know what you've seen and what you've had. I don't know. But the first one, here it goes. Let's go with this. Boom.
Pumas, Jordans, British Knights, and Reebok pump-ups and feelers?
Yeah.
So what am I just picking one?
So no, this is what you do. Which ones are the first ones to go? So basically the last ones up are the ones you like the best. Which ones are the first ones you're going to take out from this group?
Oh, my God. Oh, shucks, man. So you got me on the hot seat. Okay, so I never had the BKs. I liked them, but I never had a pair.
Oh, you didn't?
So I'm going to say BKs got to go.
All right, BKs got to go. Wow. Let me see. For me, oh, man. I'm going to say the pumps are going to go. Because I've never owned pumps. As much as I've wanted them, I've never owned them. So I can't really keep them on if I've never owned them. So for me, pumps are gone.
Understand.
What's next?
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna say I gotta do Pumas. Although I like them, I did have some of those.
Oh my God.
I'm going from least favorite to favorite, so Pumas got to go.
Oh my God, I felt that one. The next one for me would be Felines. They're going. Yeah, I remember too because I remember there was remember that song "My Adidas and Me" by Run DMC, I believe it was.
Yeah, I remember that.
They had like a remix of "Me and My Felines."
Oh
I remember somebody back in the day would say that, but. Yeah, next one would be Felines for me. Now we're down to.
So we're down to the
Jordans, Adidas, and the pumps.
I'm gonna get rid of the pumps. Pumps got to go.
Did you ever get to have any?
I had one pair.
Man, I always wanted a pair of pumps, dude. Oh my God. It just looks so cool, badass. I tried them on in the store and I tried them on, but I never owned one. I'm like, man, always wanted some, man. Oh, yeah. The next one for me, believe it or not, the next one for me would be Jordans.
Oh man, no.
Yeah. Because, like, I'm old school, so I'm thinking about my childhood, my childhood, and even till today, I don't wear Jordans. What I wear is Adidas, sometimes, some Nikes and Pumas. Those are like the ones I wear.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna be reversed because I gotta tell you this right here. Although I wasn't a fan of that color, but these are the Jordan 11s, and out of all Jordans, this pair was my favorite pair of all. The black and red and the black
Really?
and gamma blue. I love the 11s. My hands down favorite shoe of all Jordans was the Jordan 11s. This shoe right here.
Wow.
So if I had to leave one standing, it's gonna be the J11s, man. I love that shoe.
Wow. Evan says the founders of Adidas were brothers and they had a fight. And so one of them left the company and started his own company on the other side of the river, Puma. Oh,
that's why they look so much alike.
Wow. You know what? My number one on this list is Pumas because, man, I had them growing up as a kid. The two sneakers I had as a little kid was Adidas and Pumas. And when I had the Adidas, I had no shoelaces on them. And the Pumas, my first Pumas were black with the red stripe, I guess you call them, the stripe on the side.
Mm-hmm.
And with the big fat red laces, Yeah. Oh my God. The memories, dude. Oh my God. That's so cool. All right. Let's go on to the next. Let's see. Let's do this one. Growing up, we got the BMX, you had the roller skates, you had the scooter, and the big wheel. Which one of these are going first?
Skates, because I can't skate. I can only go
skate
straight.
Yo, same thing with me. Same thing. I actually bought a pair like the ones in the picture, but mines were blue. They were Adidas because they were blue with yellow stripes, like Adidas. But I couldn't. I fell all the time. So yeah, same thing with me. Skates are gone.
Yeah, skates are gone, man. I can't skate. I can only go straight. I can't go backwards. I can't turn no corners. I can't go just straight. And the only way of stopping is crashing. So
then for me, the next one for me would be the scooter.
I can agree to that. I got to get rid of the scooter. Although I had fun on them, but that kick push method, you beat one wore out joker trying to ride on the scooter. It's a good idea. It's a lot of exercise.
And then the big wheel is cool because, man, you don't really see those. I don't know about you, but over here, you don't see these things anymore. It was, I had a lot of them. I'll tell you that. I had a lot of them. And I did have a lot of fun with them. But the number one on my list would be the BMX because me and my brother, we always go back to our BMX with the Star Mags. I remember when we went to the bike store and picked up those Star Mags. I had orange mags. I don't know what drove me to pick orange, but I picked orange and I loved it.
I gotta say that the BMX bike is gonna be the favorite, man. I remember was it Huffy and the Mongoose and all that kind of stuff. Those were all dope bikes, man. And we used to get at it as a kid on those bikes.
Let's see how difficult this next one's gonna be for Chris. Oof. We got Wu-Tang, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Run DMC, Naughty, Arrested Development, NWA, and Naughty by Nature. Ooh.
This is a tough one, but it's easy because I am a lover of music. I really love music, man. I am a hip hop head,
Yeah,
but I gotta tell you
that's
that
why I put this one together.
my hands down favorite group of all times is right there in the middle at the top. I gotta go the BTNH, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Can't nobody tell me nothing about. I am one of their hugest fans since day
Yeah.
one. 19. See, most people only remember them from Creeping on the Come Up. I remember them from their very first album, which was The Faces of Death. I am a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony fan.
Wow.
Love all music now. I love
Did
all
you-
music, but I am a huge Bone Thugs and Harmony fan.
Did you know I saw this on another pod show? I think they were like the retro something, and they actually did a show on this Bone Thugs and Harmony that they actually have a song that the theme song, the music was from Eternal Champions.
I can believe that.
It was, dude. I mean, if you see, I'll have to show you later, but it's identical, dude. I'm like, oh my god, how did I not pick up on that? Because I used to play Eternal Champions like crazy, dude.
Eternal Champions is a hidden treasure on the Sega Genesis.
Dude, man, the graphics when that came out, man, like you look at it now, you're like, yeah, but back then, dude, that was like state of the art stuff, man.
Right. Yes.
It was crazy. Let's see. So for me, I would say NWA because I never really listened to NWA. I heard of them, but I never really got into that. Out of this whole list, my favorite ones would probably be Wu-Tang. I think it was Enter the 36 Chambers. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
That was a great one. My favorite song is Ice Cream.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Protect Your Neck.
Nah, I think
Ice
my
Cream.
my I think my brother's favorite is Glaciers. I'm thinking,
Glaciers, okay.
am I saying it right? Yeah, that one.
Mhm.
Yeah, my favorite is Ice Cream, man. I love that beat, man. Like, dun, 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 dun. Oh my god, it's so bugged out. I love it. Yeah, so that would be my favorite. I love Run DMC. Definitely, obviously, Down with the King. I mean, they're and then Arrested Development, obviously. My
Right.
Everyday People, they got some great songs too.
They got a lot of great
Naughty by
songs.
Nature, Teenage Years, Naughty by Nature for sure. But out of all these, yeah, I think Wu-Tang for me would have more of the songs I would like to listen to. And then when Redman and Method Man did their own thing, that thing was crazy, dude.
Oh
They
my
went,
God, yes.
oh my lord, dude, that was crazy. All right, let's see.
Oh
There we
man.
go. I tried getting creative with this one. Michael Jackson, Rick James, Bobby Brown, Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer, or Prince.
Oh man.
This is tough for me though,
I don't know. I don't see how you get rid of one because coming up. Now, granted, if I had to base this off of anything, I have to base it off of era, right? Because all of these
Yeah.
guys were in my era, but then when you deal with era, you got to go to relatability, right? So
Yeah.
I grew up on Rick James, Prince, Michael
Yeah.
Jackson, and things like that. But that was not my era. Although my parents listened to that music, that was more their era, their relatability. So it was my era, but not relatability. I can relate to MC Hammer because I remember one of the first songs I heard about MC Hammer was I heard Can't Touch This, but my very first MC Hammer song was called Hammer.
Okay, yeah. Hammer Time?
Hammer Time.
Yeah.
And then I was in second or third grade when I heard Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby.
Yeah.
And then Bobby Brown
Ice
came.
Baby.
My very first relatability to Bobby Brown was in the Ghostbusters movie. So
Yes. I heard Bobby Brown before I heard the song on Ghostbusters, but I love that Ghostbusters song though. That sound of it, this brings you back, man. You know, whenever I hear that song, man, instantly, I don't know about you, but whenever I hear that song, instantly Ghostbusters in my head, you know?
Right.
It was just such a great time. So, for me, Vanilla Ice is going first because Ice Ice Baby is really popular, but that's really all I listen to from him. So he would go for me. Yeah. He would be the first for me to go. That's all I really know from him.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, I can't get rid of none of them, Mike. I can't.
Yeah, Ice is first, and then let's see. Damn. It's hard, but the next one for me, as hard as people are gonna hate me, but would be Rick James.
Oh.
And I like, you know, he has some cool, iconic, you know. I remember the time he won an award. It was hilarious. I don't know if you've seen it, but he was like, I guess a girl or something backstage didn't know who he was or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you know, for the lady backstage, I forgot what exactly but he's like, but I'm Rick James, bitch. Excuse my language. But I was like, oh my God, it was hilarious. I mean, whatever he says is like, oh my God, it's awesome. And I want to say I remember him from a few like breakdance songs.
Oh, man, that's a tough one to me, man. I can't get rid of any of them, but I can probably put them in order. And if I had to put them in order, as far as relatability, what I can relate to, I'd say Vanilla Ice is gonna be top of the top. MC Hammer, Bobby Brown, then I'm gonna go Mike Jackson, Prince, and I kind of got to class Rick James, Prince, and Michael Jackson together, man, because I kind of heard all. This is a tough one, man. That's a tough one.
For me, number one for me would be Michael Jackson because I love his music. I listen to it still today. Second would be Prince for me. Third would be a tie between Bobby and Hammer. You know, but definitely Michael Jackson and Prince for me on top of there. I watch all his songs and I still watch Purple Rain all the time, dude. Oh my God. Thing is iconic. All right, let's see. I tried making a lot of different types of things, so it's gonna be interesting. Here we go. You know, if you can't, like I said, if you can eliminate them too, like you can like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that way too. If it's, you know, whatever works for you. Okay.
Number 1 gotta go is gonna be Dinosaurs.
Yeah, number 1.
They gotta go. I didn't really relate to that too good.
Yeah. I remember the theme song. If anything, I remember the theme song more than the cartoon.
Right.
Dinosaurs. Yeah, I remember that. If anything, you know. But let me see. Yeah, I think my first one would be Dinosaurs too. Yeah. Yeah, Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs followed by Tiger Sharks.
I'm right with you. Tiger Sharks got to go. I did not like the knockoff Thundercats.
It was, for me, I think a bit too kiddie for me. I feel like Thundercats was a little bit more mature, and then Tiger Sharks seemed like a little bit, you know, here's the leftovers. Yeah. I wonder if my number 1's gonna be yours, but the next one for me to go would be, this is hard, but Centurions.
My next one was probably gonna be, I gotta go Herculoids.
No, that's not Herculoids.
I mean, I'm sorry, the Inhumanoids.
Inhumanoids, yeah.
The Inhumanoids have to go.
I love Centurions. I had them all as a kid. I loved them, but I have more fond memories with Bionic 6. I had a lot of the toys. I remember the cartoon, and my uncle who passed away years ago, I remember he gave me one. When I went to visit him in New York, I don't know what it was. Every time I went to visit him, he had this like humongous storage room where it was nothing but toys. And he would say, hey, come in and pick something out. And I remember one time I went there, I picked one out, and it was a Bionic 6 figure, and I remember that still today. So I have like good memories of that. But I like Inhumanoids more than the Bionic 6.
Wow.
I had all the toys of Humanoids, dude. Oh my God. All the toys. It was like, and when you look at them back then, the figures really didn't do much. They like the hands just went up and down. Right. Same thing with the legs, but I don't know. I guess this seemed cool to me, I guess. And my number one is Cops. I don't know if it's for you, but my number one is Cops.
Yeah, Cops is gonna be my number one. Like I said, if I had to go down the list and getting rid of them, like I said, Dino Saucers first, Tiger Sharks is gonna be second, and Humanoids third. Bionic 6 is gonna be fourth because I did like them, but I like Centurions better. And then Centurions after that. Then, like I say, number one is gonna be Cops, man. Cops was the show.
I still, believe it or not, I still every now and then I go on YouTube and just search the intro just to listen to it over and over again. It's just such a good song. Boom, the beat cool, and everything. Man. It was like, oh, all right. Ooh, I don't know if this is going to be easy or hard for you, but we got the Warriors, Beat Street, Swamp Thing, Mad Max, The Wrath, and Breakin'.
Oh man.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Okay.
Number one for me to go is The Wrath. If I'm saying The Wrath or The Wreath, I don't know how
The Wraith.
The Wraith. Yeah. It's a great movie, but it's my first to go.
I can agree to that because it was kind of slow.
Yeah.
Although I did like the Dodge Stealth or whatever that was they had in there.
Yeah, it was by Chrysler. I don't know, Chrysler Dodge, I guess, but yeah, you can see the Chrysler symbol on pictures of it, and I think that guy
up stealth.
Yeah, that guy who does the Muppets, the puppet thing. I forget his name, but he owns it. I saw a video of him owning it. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. The next one for me would be Swamp Thing.
What?
Yeah.
I gotta go. Boo. Was it Breakin'? I gotta go Breakin'.
Breakin'. Ooh. Breakin', Breakin' is on the list for me still because, man, did I love breakdancing, and I watched that over and over and over again, dude. Me and my brother with the cardboard on the floor trying to be, breakdancers, right? So it beats Swamp Thing for that, So that's so the next one for me would be Breakin' after Swamp Thing.
Okay, I would say after Breakin'. Oh, I hate to do this. I gotta go Beat the Streets.
Beat Street. Yeah.
Street.
Now Beat Street, it was cool, but I don't know about you. When I think of Beat Street, I don't know about you, but when I think about Beat Street, I think about the guy who did the graffiti.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know, like whenever I think about that movie, right away I think of him. I don't know, like, so I guess that's maybe why I like graffiti too, like I'm not that good at it, but I think that's how I fell in love with graffiti because of that movie. And, I love it for that. But that would be my next one down too, after Breakin', Beat Street. Leaving us with the Warriors and Mad Max.
Oh, man.
This one is kind of tough for me, but kind of easy at the same time.
I got it. It's hard, man, but I'm gonna say Mad Max is my number one, man. I love the
What?
Warriors. I hands down love the Warriors,
Oh my
man.
God.
I love me some Mad Max.
Oh my God, dude. I love Matt. Listen, I don't know if I ever told the story, but I fell in love with Mad Max the minute I saw that Black Interceptor.
Yes.
I can't tell you the amount of times I rewinded that VHS tape from where he's grabbing that mask from his little thing where his suit is, and then he's running, and then you see him walking into the garage and then fading away, and then that interceptor turns on, he drives out. Dude, I must have rewinded that part 100 times. Oh my God, dude. Like if my VHS was able to loop it, trust me, it was looping it. You know, I just and then the Road Warrior, my number one spot that I rewinded in the Road Warrior was when he leaves like those people in the camp, whatever you call them. And he's like, look, I'm out of here. And then he goes through the enemies, and then they show the zoom in of the supercharger when he flicks it on. And you hear like that blower. Oh my God. Dude, I rewinded that over and over and over again. I'm Mad Max, you know. And when I got my Thunderbird, my 1990 Thunderbird Super Coupe. Yeah, it's not a Ford Falcon, but I was Mad Max. You know. So yeah, but Mad Max would be the next one to go, and the Warriors would be number one. Oh my God. I love the gangs. I love everything about the Warriors. I had a Warriors vest, and like an actual vest. It took me a while because there's a lot of fakes and a lot of but I got one that looked exactly like the movie one, and I ended up giving it to my cousin, who God rest his soul passed away. But yeah, oh my God, so many good memories. Boom! Here we go. A little bit of comics. We got the Justice League, X-Men, Justice Society of America, the Fantastic Four, All-Star Squadron, Infinity Watch, Titans, and the Avengers.
Oh man. Okay.
I can feel it in Chris's voice.
All right.
I got a lot of good memories of these.
All-Star Squadron gotta go first.
Oh. For me, Fantastic Four. Because I never, I love the new movie that came out, but I never got into the Fantastic Four as comics, I just, not really. So they would be my first to go.
I gotta say my next one's gonna be the new Teen Titans.
New Teen Titans. Yeah, I would agree with you. Yeah, that would be my next one too. I had, the crazy thing is I had a lot of them, but that I bought in flea markets, that when you go to stores today, they're mad money.
Oh,
and I'm
yes.
like, man, I had that one, like, oh my God. Yeah, so that would be my next one. Fantastic Four, Titans. I think after Titans, man. Oh, it's hard, but I would say for me, Justice League for me.
You gonna take the Justice Society of America over the Justice League?
Yes, because the only reason, because they have more characters that I love in the Justice Society than the Justice League. You got the original Flash, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, Atom Smasher. I just love all those characters, and they were in, like when you watch Justice League in the cartoon, all of them were in there, but in the comic, I definitely love the Society a bit more. Not saying that I didn't like Justice League, but I just like the Society a little bit more.
I gotta say, Justice Society gotta go because I always attributed to them to being, and I know this is gonna sound ridiculous,
Be
but
careful, Chris.
I always said that they were the fake Justice League, and that's the way I always used to put it, man. That's the fake Justice League, man. They ain't no.
You know what? I loved Our Man too. Our Man was a cool character. You know,
Yeah.
they evolved them over time, but yeah. So the next one for me, oh man,
Come on, you already know Infinity
man.
Watch got to go. Let's go.
Nah, they're on there still for me.
Get the Infinity Watch out of there.
I love Infinity Watch because I love cosmic beings. I was such a huge fan of cosmic beings, and Infinity Watch brought a lot of that into the comics. And I actually drew that cover back in high school when I drew. I drew that cover. Adam Warlock. It came out really good, actually. The next one for me would be, oh man,
Don't you do it.
I would say All-Star Squadron. As much as I like them, they would be the next one for me to go.
Okay. Ooh, all right. Let's see. Oh man, shucks.
Everybody watching, you can, like I said, you can participate in the comics too. You know, and tell us your eliminations.
Golly, man. Ah. Okay, I can't get rid of these three, but I can put them in the order. I can't get rid of them. I'd
Right.
say X-Men's gonna be number one. Justice League number two, and Avengers number three. I can't get rid of them. I can't get rid of neither one of them, man. I love all of them.
My first would be X-Men. I love Uncanny X-Men, dude. That era. Oh my God. I love the artwork. Colossus is my favorite X-Men. I love anything to do with Colossus. I love that whole group. I love the artwork. I love everything, the stories, everything, but Colossus was my favorite. And then Avengers, obviously. You know, I love a lot of Avengers. I got into West Coast Avengers too with Wonder Man. I like the original Wonder Man. Those were a lot of fun. Yeah.
A series on him on Disney Channel.
Yeah. I mean, it's so different though. Like, and I say that because, you know, I haven't really followed the comics, you know, so I'm really giving you knowledge from the 80s, 90s, you know, so I don't know if the Wonder Man they're going to make is actually right now in comics, but the Wonder Man I remember was the one that looked like, you know, muscular, looked like a bodybuilder. That's the one I remember.
I remember him too.
And I don't know if you know this, but the Grim Reaper is actually his brother.
Okay, so I remember the Avengers cartoon, and if I'm not mistaken, and this this was back in the late 80s, early 90s when the Avengers cartoon was coming on. I think it was Wonder Man and what's her name, man? One of the Olsen sisters plays one. Was it Wanda? What's her code name in there? Was it the Scarlet Witch? Scarlet Witch.
Is that one of the Olsen twins?
No, not the twins. Their sister Elizabeth.
Oh, okay.
She plays Scarlet Witch. So in the Avenger cartoon, Scarlet Witch and Wonder Man had something going on, and I think he fell.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And they made him Vision from there, or transferred his compass to Vision in the cartoon. What I remember, but I don't know if the comic book lines up like that, but I do remember that part of it.
Who's your favorite Vision? Do you like the old style or do you like the white version?
I know nothing about the white version. I do like the old style. I got to catch up on the white one to see what's up with that dude. What's happening with him? I like about him.
I like the white one because that's the one I got introduced into the comics when I started reading. You know, so I'm just used to seeing that one. But the other one is cool. All right. Let's see. Here we go. I had all of these. I don't know about you. I had all these as a kid. So
I did have all these.
the infamous water gun. What is the secret? The soaker.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Man, memories of these. Damn. The first one for me would be the suction cup gun.
You suck. You can't do that. You can't do that. Oh my God, man! I look on this. I can't get rid of neither one of them. I can't put them in the order. My number one is going to be the suction cup gun because that is the very first toy gun I had, and I absolutely love that thing. And then after that, I got to go with the little disc shooter. Disc shooter is going to be number 2. Hey, the soaker is going to be my number 3, and the Nerf gun is going to be number 4 in that order. But I can't get rid of that. And if I had to just choose one of all, it's got to be the suction cup because I absolutely love that thing. Simple as it may be, but I love it.
Mine would be number 1 for me would be the soaker because I've had so many memories owning soakers. Second will be the Nerf because there was a time when me and my brother got into Nerf big time, and then the disc, and then the suction for me. All right, let's see. This one, I threw this in there just to throw a game show stuff in there. The Price is Right, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, or Family Feud.
Get rid of Jeopardy. I used to hate answering all them questions. I did not want to. Jeopardy wasn't bad, but you had to answer questions that nobody knew the answer to, and I didn't know half of the answers on Jeopardy. Jeopardy got to go.
Oh my God!
Jeopardy got to go. Bye, Jeopardy. You got to go.
For me, yeah, Jeopardy would go for me too. That'd be the number one to go. Second for me though would be, probably Wheel of Fortune.
I can say Wheel of Fortune would be second too. I like Wheel of Fortune, but it got to go to number 2. I ain't got time to be trying to guess what you're trying to say. What's on your mind? Get out of here.
My number 1 is gonna be The Price is Right.
Facts. Bob Barker.
Dude, I still watch the reruns every now and then, man. I don't know. It's just come on down, like I always thought like, I think at some point in my time I would say in my head, Michael Grahales, come on down. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I love watching it, like all the different stuff they had. They have games. Family Feud is funny though. With some of the stuff they be coming up with, it's kind of hilarious, but I got a lot more memories with The Price is Right.
I do too.
Here we go. Another set of movies. Oh, I think this one might be tough. I don't know. We got The Terminator, Back to the Future, Star Wars, The Karate Kid, Alien, and Revenge of the Ninja.
Oh man, why you do me like this, man?
Oh my God. Let me see.
Gracious, man. Okay.
It is tough. Wow, it is tough for me.
Okay, so golly, man. I gotta try to put these in the order in which I saw them.
All right.
I can't get rid of neither one of them because, man, to get rid of any of these would be a disservice to all these movies because they were classics. But I gotta say, out of all of them, the first one I saw, and I'm not putting one over the other, but the very first memory of any of these movies is going to be Star Wars for me.
Nice.
And then as I came into adulthood, I've learned to appreciate the Star Wars stories, the characters, and all that stuff. So first movie out of all these movies I remember seeing is going to be Star Wars. My second one is going to be Terminator. That was the second one I remember seeing out of these 3. And then I got to go Aliens. And then I got to say after Aliens, I remember the Back to the Future. I think Back to the Future and Karate Kid kind of was both in the same lane for me at the time, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm gonna say Back to the Future first, then Karate Kid. And last but not least, the Revenge of the Ninja.
Boom. Damn, dude. Let me see. I'm gonna put them in order of like how many times I watched this. So
Okay.
I guess most popular, I guess for me first. The most popular for me first. So number one on the list for me would be Revenge of the Ninja, because as kids, I don't know about you, but back then we would take sweaters, and back then we had different color sweaters, blue, green,
And
whatever.
time around
But
your face. Oh man, I did that too.
yes, yes, dude. I mean, so there was pretty much the 80s for me was ninja. I wanted to be a ninja, you know. After that, I gotta say, Terminator for me. Terminator. So Revenge of the Ninja, Terminator. After Terminator, believe it or not, it's gonna be Karate Kid next.
Okay.
Only because I didn't watch Star Wars till later. You know, I didn't watch Star Wars till later in the years. And right now, like, if I was gonna tell you right now, like, which one I like out of all of them right now, number one would be Star Wars. But if I'm going based on how they came into my life, that's the order I would put them in: Revenge of the Ninja, Terminator, Karate Kid, Back to the Future, Star Wars, and then Alien. In that order. But today, if I was to pick one out of that list, it'd be Star Wars number one all day long. I love Star Wars. Me and my wife, oh my God, you kidding me? All right. Here we go. I don't know how well you're going to know this next one, but we'll give it a shot.
Oh man. Oh my God. This is okay. Look, I can do this easily. So everyone can stay but Barney. I don't know that dude. I was a teenager, darn near grown when I seen Barney. Man, I can't relate to Barney, man. He got to go. Bye, Barney. You got to go. God. I'm trying to see how I want to put these in order.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go Ronald McDonald first because, believe it or not, and maybe it's me, I want them to bring that old clown, this is magic, big floppy shoes, and doing the quirky stuff back to McDonald's. I know we're 40 years beyond that, but bring him back. Bring him back. Bring Grimace back. The Hamburglar, the Fry Kids.
Yeah.
Bring all those guys back, man.
I would even take it a little further. Bring back the old playgrounds, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, McDonald's now looks, you know, a little like, I don't know what's the word, like depressing, you know?
It does, man.
It just looks like it's like a box. I'm like, what happened to the nice? It looked like an amusement park, you know?
Yeah,
now
it's
like
just
you
only go there to get coffee. That's it.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you like number one for me. I'll put them in order for me.
Okay,
would be number one, and shouldn't be a surprise, but number one for me is Big Bird.
Okay.
Just way too many memories of growing up with him. You know, I mean, I got these guys right next to me. You know, I mean, how can I not? You know, how can I not choose Big Bird? But yeah, he's my number one. Second would be Kermit. Third, Ronald McDonald. Gizmo, Alf, and then Barney. I didn't watch Barney, but I threw him in there anyway.
Yeah. So my first, if I put him in order, my first is going to be Ronald McDonald. Then I got to go. It's kind of hard between Kermit and Big Bird because Kermit was not necessarily on Sesame Street, but he was in the Muppets, and Big Bird wasn't necessarily in the Muppets, but he was on Sesame Street. But then when they did the movies, you saw Kermit and Big Bird. So
yeah,
I had to put both of them at a tie. And then I would say Ronald McDonald, Big Bird, Kermit's going to be a tie for me. and then I gotta go Gizmo, and then Alf last. Barney, no, no, that's brother. I'm sorry.
I love you. Oh my god, man! I still watch. Like I told you, when I got my Bert and Ernie back, I still today watch Sesame Street with my son, and man, I just love watching the old ones. You know, and I haven't really watched the new stuff, but because I connect with the old stuff, you know,
Right.
and just the intro theme and even the ending where you hear that guy with the harmonica. I can listen to it
man.
all day. It's just so memories, man. All right, let's see here. Another. Ooh. So this is like TV shows now, I guess. We got Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, Zoobilee Zoo. I don't know if I've seen Zoobilee Zoo. Fraggles, Punky Brewster, or The Muppet Show.
Golly, man.
Oh, we got a comment. Let's see.
Oh,
I had a few things to do, so I had to duck away for a while. No problem, Evans. We're just eliminating here these TV shows here. We got Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Zoobilee Zoo, Fraggle Rock, Punky Brewster, and The Muppet Show. Let us know, Evans, like, what's your order?
Okay, so I can only knock off one, and the only reason I can knock off one is because I never saw it, but the other ones I would have to put in the order. So I've never seen Zoobilee Zoo before, so I can't relate to it. So they got to go. But then, okay, so here's my list.
All right.
I got to go to Muppet Show first, Fraggle Rock second.
All right.
I gotta say, Sesame Street third, Mr. Rogers, then Punky Brewster.
Wow. So the Muppet Show is your number one, like your favorite?
I love the Muppet Show, brother. I don't know what it was about the Muppet Show, but I love the Muppet Show, man. The Muppet Show was the hit to me.
Yeah. No, I love the Muppets. Let me see. For me, the first to go would be Punky. Then Zoobilee Zoo will be going next. Fraggle Rock next. The Muppet Show next. Oh, for me, this is really, really hard, but Mr. Rogers will go next, and Sesame Street will be number one. Yeah, Sesame Street will be number one. I just have way too many memories as a kid. Both of them, but more with Sesame Street and the characters. I love Mr. Rogers, you know. You know what? Let me do this. Let me do like what you do. Put Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers together. You know, let's do that, because I think I feel like I can justify that more, keeping them together than putting, you know, separating them. You know,
Right.
it just way too many good. I mean, Mr. Rogers, Fred, the kindness. You know, he taught us so many things, and then just Sesame Street for me. Just everything is. I mean, it's great memories, man.
So there's a
definitely be
rumor
mine.
out about Mr. Rogers, and I don't know if it's true. I got to go and actually look this up to see if it was true. But some years ago, I heard that he was an ex-Navy SEAL.
Really?
Yeah, he was either an ex-Navy SEAL or ex Green Beret or something like that. But I want to say I'm leaning more toward ex-Navy SEAL. Someone said that he was an ex-Navy SEAL.
He was. Now that you mention it, I did see something a few weeks ago, and they showed an old picture of him in a military uniform. But I don't know. I don't know if he was in a Navy SEAL or anything, but I know he was in the military because I've seen the uniform. That's interesting.
That's a rumor. I've heard he was in the military, but I heard there's a rumor that he has that tattoo of whatever special services.
Really?
Yes.
Oh wow.
And that's why he always wore the long sleeves.
Oh, wow. Let's see. Evan says that was Bob Ross. He was a Marine. Evan says it was Bob Ross. He was a Marine.
Bob Ross. Okay.
I do remember that. I do remember Bob Ross being a drill sergeant from what I heard. He was a drill sergeant. And then he came painting pictures with his soft voice.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Take your time.
Let's see what we got next here. Ooh. Bam.
I can't get rid of none of these.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, X-Men, Inspector Gadget, SWAT Cats, Super Friends, or the Biker Mice from Mars.
Oh my God, man. I ain't getting rid of none of these, dude. Okay, so the order as to how they came to me was there Super Friends is number one. Then it was Inspector Gadget, Ninja Turtles, X-Men, Biker Mice, and last but not least, SWAT Cats. But if I have to put one in front of the other, I got to go SWAT Cats Radical Squadron. Hands down, the most underrated cartoon in the late 90s, early 2000s. Definitely a good watch.
SWAT Cats was awesome. Did they ever make toys for that?
No, they did not make toys. I don't think they. If they did, I didn't have them. I didn't see them. I wish they. I wish they would.
If they did, I don't know. For some reason, I think if they ever did, I could see Super 7 doing it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah. But let me see, man. This was tough. I tried putting. I wanted to make it really tough. You know, that was the whole point of it. But yeah, all these are great. I could probably let go of Inspector Gadget. You know, out of all of them, I think Inspector Gadget would be easier for me to let go and keep all the other ones because they were just great. I mean, the Super Friends. I mean, how can you not? You know, the X-Men. That was an iconic, man. Even I've been watching the new one, the new X-Men '97. I think it's called
97. Yes.
That thing is crazy. It's great. I haven't been watching all of it, but when I can, I do watch them, and it definitely gives me the vibe of watching the old series. And I don't know how many of the original voice actors are back, but I can definitely hear a few of them.
I think it's a good bit of them back, man. That's surprising.
Right?
They to get all those characters back.
I shared with Lawrence, I think it was yesterday, the day before. I don't know if you know this, but I want to say in the 80s, there was an X-Men cartoon. It was like a pilot. And it was called like Pride of the X-Men. I think it was called Pride of the X-Men.
Oh,
and
that's
it was
when
before there was.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's when Wolverine had the Australian accent and he had the brown and black.
It was like a one knockoff show, right? Like a one episode thing, right?
I think they had a few episodes, man. I remember
Did
that.
they?
They just didn't last that long.
The one that I only remember watching that one episode, the pilot, because there was a point where they showed the danger room, and Xavier's talking to Kitty, and then they're looking at the danger room. Then they show Peter running down this corridor where these big boulders coming out of the wall trying to crush him, but then you see him turn into Colossus. Like, oh my God, that's so bugged out. And they have the old style uniform, which I love.
Right.
Yeah, that was bugged out. I had Biker Mice toys, man. They were awesome. And did they make a new version?
Yes, they do have some Biker Mice.
Because I think I saw Gibbs have it.
We have the same.
See the comments. Evan says, not a Marine. As it turns out, Ross joined the United States Air Force in 1961, rising to the rank of Master Sergeant. Okay. Even though Frank Welker was Dr. Claw. Frank Welker, man. The Claw. Did they ever show the Claw's face? I can't even remember now.
No, they never showed the Claw's face.
No, right? The Claw. I do that with my son every now and then. Seth the Claw. Yeah, I remember I was watching, I think, one of Gibbs' posts when he was doing his collection, and then in the background I can see the biker mice. Like, oh snap, it's the biker mice from Mars. I did have some of the original ones. I did have, and I loved them. I thought they were great. You know, I thought they were great toys.
The biker mice from Mars.
Oh man, heck yeah, dude.
These guys are dope.
Man, look at that.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. There you go. Putting them up again. I got you on the big screen. Oh, look at that. Oh, snap. They're really good.
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow. Who makes them?
Nacelle. Nacelle, I think.
Oh, wow. Do you have any of the vehicles?
I did not. Well, I actually did not like their version of the vehicles, but if you want to be, straight tune accurate, then do so. I still may get them, but they look like too tunish. So these are the vehicles I actually got. Let me show you the vehicles I actually got for them, because I thought this was just going to be a lot cooler. So when I display them again, they're going to be on these.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Wow. Those look bugged out, man. Heck yeah. Biker mice.
Yeah, man.
Then I had a lot of fun playing with those toys. They were great. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, let's see. Which one did we do? Biker mice. This would be the next one. Oof. As if things weren't getting worse. Oh my God. Let's see. We got a comment. Evan says it was exactly the same voice as he used for Soundwave, except that they ran Soundwave through a vocoder. So the guy who does Soundwave's voice. So Frank Welker's the guy who does Megatron's voice, right?
Yes.
Oh, so he did the Claw's voice. Oh snap! I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Man, we got G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Silverhawks, Voltron, He-Man. I mean, this is like almost impossible. This is like almost impossible to eliminate something. I mean,
man, I can't eliminate them on this one either, man. I can only put them in order. As how they came to me as coming up. So I would say the first thing that I remember seeing is going to be He-Man. It's going to be He-Man, then Thundercats, and Silverhawks. But I think Silverhawks may have come to me before Thundercats. If memory serves right. I know definitely He-Man. I'm trying to see which one I saw first between Thundercats and Silverhawks. So I'm going to say Silverhawks, then Thundercats. And then I'm going to say Voltron. And then G.I. Joe, and then Mask. But as far as if I had to, that's the order that I remember them coming across. But if I had to choose one to be number one, it's probably going to be them Thundercats, man.
Evan says, I didn't watch as much of the Silverhawks as the others, but I love them all. Yeah, I have to put in, I can't eliminate any of these. I have to put them in order. Oh, man. Let's see. You know what I'll do? I'll categorize. I'll tag team them. So my first tag team will be Voltron and He-Man. My second tag team is going to be G.I. Joe and the Thundercats. And the third tag team is going to be Mask and the Silverhawks. You know, because growing up, Voltron was definitely heavy in my childhood as far as He-Man as well. I mean, they all were, but I mean, I can only tell you how many times I lift up that broomstick by the power of Grayskull. You know, I'm like, oh my god. Let's see. I didn't. I'd say that He-Man and Thundercats go together because of the Sword of Power. Yeah, the Sword of Power. Let me tell you this: if you were able to pick one, Chris, the Sword of Power or Sword of Omens, which one would you pick?
Well, golly, man.
For me, like I'll tell you what I could choose. I would choose the Sword of Power only
I'm
because
leaning-
you
I'm leaning-
transform.
Yeah, I'm leaning toward the Sword of Power.
You know what I'm saying? Like the Sword of Omens is cool, but the Sword of Power turns you into somebody. You know.
Right.
And I think that's kind of cool. You know, you can be the strongest man in the universe. You know, I mean, that's bugged out. The Sword of Woman is bugged out, but the fact of me turning into like He-Man, that's cool. I think that's pretty bugged out.
I gotta go Sword of Power on that one, dude.
Let's see. Try this one. Oh, all right. So this one, I wanted you. This is not really like an elimination, but it's more like which one. Put them in the order that you've watched the most. You know, in that order. You've watched this one the most, then this one, then this one. We got the original G1. We got Headmasters, Beast Wars, Super God Master Force, Transformers Victory, and then Transformers Armada.
Okay, so I gotta say, when I actually came into the knowledge and fully understanding Transformers, it was during the Headmaster series. Because you gotta think when Transformers came out, dude, I was only 3 years old when the original G1 came out. Even though I watched it and I thought it was cool, but as a 3-year-old, you're not understanding the concept of who those characters are. It wasn't until the late 80s when I was like 5 or 6 years old when I understood what the Transformers were, but we were already into the Headmaster series. So I watched more Headmaster series than I did the actual G1 cartoon. So like I had to watch the Headmasters, and then as I got older, had to go back and understand G1. So I would say Headmaster first. Oh, Ivan Martinez, what's up, Ivan? So I say Headmasters first, then G1, and then after G1, I would say I gotta say Beast Wars was after G1, because we gotta think after the G1 or the 87, everything went back to Japan, and like Super God Master Force was not accessible to us over in the US like it was in Japan and UK. So I gotta go Beast Wars, but I have to say, as a teenager, I really did not like Beast Wars that much. I mean, I watched it when it came on, but I didn't really care for it until like I got into my adulthood and understood character building, right? But I still did watch it. Now, Transformers Armada would have came after Beast Wars for me, but you can take that off the list because I am not an Armada fan. I had never watched Armada. I thought it was too much like Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
And then I would say Super God Master Force, and then Transformers Victory. Once YouTube kind of expanded for you to have access to that interpretation of Transformers.
Evan says, I've never saw any of these series after the original 80 series. Yeah. For me, obviously number one would be the 80s. That's how I grew up with. After that would be Headmasters. I don't want to say I don't like, but I didn't get into Beast Wars. I think, to give you an answer, I think because it went from like that 2D style to a 3D.
Right.
You know, and I just didn't like that. For me, I know you got Beast Wars fans, but for me, I just didn't like that 3D look. You know, if they kept it like the 2D cartoon style, I might have actually loved it a lot more. But for me, I feel like the 3D thing killed it for me. You know, So yeah, 80s Headmasters, Master Force and Victory came out. I know about them now because of YouTube, like you said. I still have a lot of watching episodes to do for them, but after Headmasters, it would be Victory, then Master Force, and then Armada for me. Bada boom, bada bing. Let's see. What is this one? Some of these things I forgot. Let me see what this is. Oh, okay. It's like TV shows, I guess. The Cosby Show, Family Matters, Who's the Boss, Different Strokes, Taxi, or Family Ties. I already know my number one off the bat, but I think it's gonna be yours too, but we'll see.
Okay. Again, this is another one of those ones that I can't get rid of because they were good shows. And I actually enjoyed all of them. And so I can only put them in the order and how they came to me. Growing up, I would say, what do I remember first? Was it Family Ties or Taxi? I remember Family Ties because I think Family Ties used to come on in the daytime, and Taxi was kind of like an after 7 o'clock deal that you would watch. So I would say Family Ties first. Well, let me take that back. Family Ties and Different Strokes got to be the first two because those was. I think Different Strokes for me was more earlier in the daytime, like around that 12, 1 o'clock, and Family Ties was around that 2, 3 o'clock ish. And Taxi had to definitely be like around 7 o'clock or so. So I say Family Ties, Different Strokes are kind of same area, then Taxi. Who's the Boss would come next, then The Cosby Show, and then Family Matters. But my number one would definitely probably be Family Matters.
And so there was all the G1 caught up with Japanese versions years later, the Beast Wars. Let me see. The first to go for me. The first to go for me would be Family Matters, dude. Like I watched it a lot, but I didn't really like it.
Oh,
I think Steve Urkel just got on my nerves.
Are you trying to tell me Urkel ruined your Family Matters experience?
I said, I watched it, but Family Matters was my favorite. Oh my God, I'm already on people's bad list. I remember his dad though, not his dad, but the dad of the family was in Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah.
He was the limousine driver. Yeah, but they would be the first to go for me. Then Taxi. I love Taxi because of the intro music. I know it's not even that much of a music, but the theme, I always watch it for that theme for some reason. You know, watching them drive the taxi over the bridge. And that was about it. I watched the show, but they would be going next. But Urkel irked you. And Evans, Urkel irked you.
Yeah. That's basically what he's saying, man.
Number one for me for sure is definitely The Cosby Show. You know, oh my God. Such a great show. I still watch it every now and then with my wife. I think they tried coming back like, after they ended it, but it just never really worked. But The Cosby Show was up there. The Who's the Boss, I watched a lot. Family Ties and The Different Strokes were kind of like a tie. Cosby Show and Family Ties were up there too. Martinez says. Yeah, Cosby Show was great. Let's see here. I think we got one more, Chris. Let's see. Ooh. All right. We got Miami Vice, Airwolf, Knight Rider, A-Team, Magnum P.I., and Chips. Evan says there was a Muppet episode of the Cosby Show. Oh, were there? I don't know. I know I've seen the kids from the Cosby Show on the Sesame Street, but they use their real name, not the TV show name. They use their real names. Yeah. So let's see, Miami Vice. The first from
You better
the first
say
for me to
Chips.
go. I was, but then I caught myself because I said the next one, the first one for me to go would be Magnum PI.
What?
Yeah. Because I watched Chips so many times, and I watched Chips more than I watched Magnum PI. You know, so Magnum PI would be my first to go.
Tom Selleck will not be giving you life insurance nor retirement options.
I love him though. I love him in. Is it Blue Bloods?
Blue Bloods, yeah. The new show.
I love that show. Yeah, I love that show. I watched a lot of it. Oh, that was a great show. Yeah, Magnum PI followed by Chips.
You're ruining everyone's childhood right now.
Let me see here. Evan says, yeah, Dr. Huxtable ate a hoagie late at night and had a dream where everyone else was a Muppet. No kidding. Oh, snap. I'm going to have to look that up, dude.
Didn't there
That
one
sounds
that
awesome.
he had a dream that he was giving birth to a to a hoagie?
Oh, my God, dude. I love the episode of the tap dance where he's going back and forth with the guy. He's like, challenge.
Oh yeah.
That was a good one. I love that. Let's see. So Magnum PI, Chips, then Airwolf for me. Oh, let's see what we got here.
Okay, if I got
Miami Vice all the way. Martinez says.
If I gotta get rid of one, I would say it would be Chips first. Maybe Miami Vice second gotta go. Then I would say Magnum PI. Airwolf would be next in that order. And it's gonna be hard to choose between Knight Rider and 18. Oh man. On this one, I gotta go by I don't know who's the senior in this one. If 18 is older than Knight Rider, aren't they?
I want to say 18 is older.
Okay, so I'll do it that way. I say 18 would go first and Knight Rider would be last.
My number one on this is Miami Vice. I love that show. I watched it all the time. I don't know, maybe the dramatic movie, the dramatic soundtrack.
Maybe so.
I loved it, man. They did the intro, and then, what's the guy who plays the cop? I forget his name. He was in Nasa's Bridges. I forget his name, the real name, but I love those characters. I love both of those guys, man. I think they worked really well. So Miami Vice would be my number one, followed by the 18, followed by Knight Rider, and then, like I said, Airwolf, Chips, and Magnum PI. Don Johnson, thanks, Evans. Don Johnson, yeah, from Miami Vice. Oh my God, I love his character, Don Johnson.
He's a good
You
actor.
like Miami Vice, babe?
I do. The first time that I ever went to Universal Studios in LA.
What?
Around 12 years old, and Miami Vice was at Universal Studios.
Oh, snap.
Place. I had a friend who had so much money. Man, she took us. I remember.
You heard that, Chris?
Miami Vice.
Yeah, she said, "Ciao, Bella."
See, so you saw that Hollywood?
Yeah, I went to Universal Studios Hollywood. I had this rich, friend of mine. She was 11, 12. It was her birthday. And then after after she took us there, she took us to SeaWorld. And I remember Miami Vice. It was a whole suit that blew up the whole thing.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Actually, she's still rich.
You know, the whole roof. I still remember.
Chris said, "Are you still rich?"
No, that
No,
was
is the friend still rich?
That was her rich. Her friend's rich.
my
Yeah.
friend. My friend. He was like a dentist.
That's bugged out. Oh snap! A whole show of Miami Vice up there. What year? When in the 90s?
Together with SeaWorld. Wow.
When was that? In the 90s?
No, that's 80s.
80s. Oh snap!
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow.
I was 11, 12, so.
You were 11, 12? Oh my god. Miami Vice. Oh my god. And then, who can't love the A-Team intro? How's it go? Like, if you're lucky or something and you can find them, maybe you can hire the A-Team. Oh my god. The Van did it for me. That's why I connected with them.
Oh yeah.
The Van and Mr. T. They were all good. I love them all. Knight Rider for me was definitely Knight Rider, not David Hasselhoff, whatever his name is. I love
David
Kit.
Hasselhoff. You didn't like David Hasselhoff?
Yeah. He was all right, but he wasn't for me. He wasn't the star. It was Kit.
The Trans
Let's
Am.
see here. My favorite people would be Mr. T by a lot, then Tom Selleck, then Hasselhoff. It says Evans. Wow. Yeah, if we were going to categorize it by actors, that's interesting. I'm glad you brought that up. If you were to categorize it by actors, how would you do it, Chris?
Categorize it by actors?
Like your favorite actors out of all, like how we did your favorite show, but if you were to do it by actors here listed, how would that look like for you? Evan said his was Mr. T, Tom Selleck, and then Hasselhoff, how you say it.
I would say Mr. T definitely would be first, and it would be a coin toss between Hasselhoff and Tom Selleck because I actually like both of those guys, man, and I hate to divide them. I don't know, man. I'll put it like this. I would say I would have to put Hasselhoff over Tom Selleck because I think Hasselhoff played in more interesting roles that had a longer duration. So I kind of seen him a lot more than I did Selleck.
Yeah. My favorite, let me see. Yeah, my favorite would have to be Mr. T, followed by Don Johnson because I love his character, followed by Murdoch from the A-Team. I love his character. Followed by Anch from Chips. Then the rest of the A-Team, like the boss. What was the boss's name of the A-Team? The main guy with the cigar. Hanneman, right?
Oh yeah, Hannibal.
Hannibal. Yeah,
Hannibal.
followed by
That's
Hannibal. Yeah. He always dressed up like in these outfits. Yep. Yeah, that was a great. I mean, I feel like that was a great cast. Like each one was cool in their own way.
Yes, they were.
Airwolf, you had. For Airwolf, I always just feel like I had the Mr. T lunchbox, says Evans. So that's cool. Actually, I remember that Mr. T cereal. I don't know if you do, but I remember the Mr. T cereal.
I do. I remember the cartoon too. They used to come on. What is it? The USA Express or whatever it was called then.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's like memories. I can't remember. I completely forgot that USA Express. Oh my, the Cartoon Express type thing.
Yeah,
oh my
Cartoon
God, that was cool.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was cool. Yeah, Airwolf. The main character there who was tried to play the Romeo, I guess. Man, what a tragic story for him, though. Like, when you look up on him, his whole life like went down drain. Evan says, I love Airwolf, but it was all about the helicopter for me. Yeah, definitely, man. It was definitely a helicopter, and then the main pilot, which I forget his name. Same thing with Kit. You know, Knight Rider Kit that's the star of the show right there, man. Hasselhoff is nothing without Kit. The A-Team, though, the A-Team is different. I love the van, but the van wasn't the star of the show. For me, it was the cast. The cast did a great job in that show. Mm-hmm. You know, and they just happened to drive a really cool van. And then for me, Magnum PI, I loved it because it was a Ferrari. You know, and then Miami Vice, Don Johnson, his character, I just loved it, man. It was just so intense. Man, all that drama and stuff. Oh my God, it was crazy. And then you had that guy later in the series, I forget his name, that he had all like his face had all those craters in his face. Evan says, just like with the turtles in their van. Yeah. I love the turtle van. Actually, where did I seen that? I seen somebody actually make the turtle van, like in real life. It looks bugged out too. It looks just like it.
Oh wow.
Bada boom, bada bing. Wow, Chris. So that's the last of it, man. What do you think, man? That was a lot of fun.
This was cool, man. It made me relive some stuff, man. Hash out some things that I probably would have never thought about to seeing it again. But I got to say this, and I'm going to continue to say it, that, man, the 80s was the era to live in if you had the opportunity to witness or be a part of anything in the 80s, man. Nothing against the 70s, the 60s, nothing against the 90s and 2000s, but the 80s is a special breed of people. We got the chance to live through 3 different cultures. If you was a 80s person, you got to live through the 80s, you got to live through the 90s, and then you're living through the 2000s, the millennial kids. So, but the 80s was the bomb, man. I gotta say that 80s was still, to me, my personal opinion, was the best era to grow up in.
Definitely, man. You know, it's funny because I shared before growing up in the 80s and watching The Incredible Hulk. I don't know if I shared it with you, but back then I used to have those button pajamas.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I had videos. I would show you guys. You guys would laugh. Oh my God. I would go on the floor as if I was getting beaten. Like reenacting Bill Bixby's parts in the show. And I'm on the ground making believe I'm getting punched and kicked. And I'm like, and you could see me as a kid, like, oh, like the pain. And then out of nowhere, I do the stillness look. Like the eyes, like, but I'm on the floor, you know, like in pain, and all of a sudden I stop this with the stare, and then I would try to rip out of my button pajamas the snap button, and I was thinking I was turning into the Hulk, like popping them open. Oh my God, dude. All these memories. The Incredible Hulk. Oh my God. Let's see. Evan says, I think that all of the characters covered. The characters that I would have wanted to be then and now, I'd have to be the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It looked like they were always having a great time. Yeah, that is true. The Teenage Mutant is Cowabunga. Who was your favorite Ninja Turtle, Chris?
Michelangelo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelangelo. And I got a theory behind that. Reason why Mikey, I know most people are probably going to say, hey man, Leonardo because he's the leader, or Raphael because he's the second in lead. But I got to go with Michelangelo, and there's a debate I had out of all 4 turtles, who was the most focused. And I threw a scenario out there, and I said it was Michelangelo was probably the most focused turtle of all of them, because of the weapons that he had to use, because you had to have a serious overload of dedication and focus when dealing with nunchucks that could easily swing. You can swing and bop yourself and tear your hands a new one. I think Michelangelo is definitely the most focused of all turtles, even though he seems to be kooky, but to handle nunchucks or anything that has an extension on that can swing like that, not just a long, stiff, blunt object, you got to have some serious dedication and focus. I mean, think about what Bruce Lee was doing, striking matches. with nunchucks.
Yeah.
That's focus.
My favorite Ninja Turtle was Leonardo. And as crazy, as simple as it is for me, it's because like I just love his blue color. You know, like a blue ninja. You know, like, oh, that's so bugged out. And then I did love the swords. You know, I guess that's it. You know, because I love ninjas, and I know they all ninjas, but Raphael had the swords though. You know, I mean I'm sorry, Leonardo. And yeah, for me it would be Leonardo, Raphael, Michelangelo, and Donatello. Yeah, in that order. Then you got Bebop and Rocksteady. I think I like Bebop out of those two. Bada boom, bada bing. Well, guys, man, that was a lot of fun, man. I enjoyed this. This was cool.
It was cool, man. It's really dope, man. I liked it.
That's a lot of fun, man. I tried, like I said, I was like, let me see what can interest Chris, and I tried doing comics, tried doing music, and just a lot of stuff I felt like you might have known, and it was fun. I loved doing this, and it was a lot of fun, and we got the guys in the comments participating. That was cool.
Definitely.
Let me get Chris here on big screen. Bada boom, bada in. There it is, guys. Christopher Horton of Transformers Third Party Kingdom. You know, what an honor it was, Chris. I had so much fun with you today on this show. Just want to give you a shout out and thank you for taking the time, because, you know, I know you're busy. I mean, we're all, you know, life gets busy, man. You know, it's not that easy to just put time aside to do this, but I tell you what, I had a lot of fun doing this today, and it was a great show, and it's been a great show because we got the Christopher Horton here, special guest, you know, and I just want to give Chris the opportunity, Chris, to say what you need to say, and also I want you to have the honors of closing out the Iacon files here. So you have the last word.
All right. First of all, what I want to do is this, man. If you are watching the Iacon files, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That's the only way to make the algorithm go crazy, to get him out to reach more viewers, to reach more fans, to reach more potential participants. Please hit that like button. More importantly of all, the like button. And then if you like the show, subscribe to it. If you want to support me, I got a Show Z code right there. Show Z code helps me. You just go in there at the top in this on Show Z. You type in that code T3PK, and what happens is I get a few reward points that I can use for later giveaways. That helps out tremendously. So please do that. Also, Transformers Third Party Kingdom, T3PK, trades and all things collectibles. Please come in and enjoy yourself, have fun, show what you got. Anything that you grew up with in your childhood, like we had a demonstration today dealing with some things that we grew up in our childhood. All things collectibles is what we're about. It's not just Transformers, it is all things collectibles. So please have fun in doing so. Then we also have the Marauder Exchange, which is a sister site. Please go over there if you want to inquire about anything and you want to know what their approval rating is, what people are saying about it. Go to the Marauder Exchange. Jonathan Williams will give you an approval rating, and he is very, very detailed. And if it's something you don't agree with, he will run them numbers again and see if the outcome is any different. Another one of our sister sites is going to be led by Tommy Luther, C&T Collectibles. Please go and join that group on Facebook. Another great and wonderful site to join. And last but not least, I want to say a huge shout out to Michael Grajales, man, for inviting me on here. I have to say again, man, it has not only been an honor, but it is a privilege for someone to, again, see the value in yourself that you think is just everyday common life to you because it's just natural in what you do. But for someone to really see that and take it to a whole nother level in the spirit of excellence, Man, it's an honor. So, Mike, I appreciate you, brother. I love you, and I thank you for having me on here. And with that being said, all you guys out there in YouTube, hey, man, we will catch y'all later, man. We love y'all. Y'all have a good one. Be safe out there. Until next time.
Peace out, guys. Bada boom, bada bing. Love you, Chris, and thank you.
Peace.